G'day, g'day, g'day. Welcome, everybody. I am your host, Darken Tiger. How are we all doing? Welcome to another episode of Weed Time. Today I am joined by two very lovely beings. We have the episode lovely, episode blue, HiroCorgi.
Hello.
And we have the ever so sparkly, ever so bright, but very lovely, Crystal.
Greetings.
How are we all doing? How are we going?
Mentally tired.
Mentally tired? Oh my god.
Yeah. Yes, I know. It's been a long Labor Day weekend, but I've been
Oh shit,
I've been
that's
having
right,
fun,
it is.
but also been
That's right,
staying
it
up
is
a little
Labor
bit too
Day.
late.
I forgot about Labor Day.
But, yeah.
Whoops.
Well, that's what happens when you stay in Australia for too long.
What? I feel insulted here. Hang on a minute. Wow. Wow. I see how it is.
I'd be like, beep.
Love you.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking... oh my god, it's already gone down and I love it. So today's topic of choice, we're going to be talking about the next wave of content creators. Dear Jesus, Merry Christmas. That just happened. Speaking of which, there's one.
Wait, what happened?
I just got a phone call. It's all good. It's fine. It happens.
It's your mother calling.
Actually, no, it's my tax agent. But that's for another topic.
Oh.
That's right, I'll call him back. But yeah, there you go. That's the first thing we're talking about. Tax. Anyway.
No, we're not.
No, we're not. No, God, no. So yeah, we're going to be talking about the times of content creators, new and veterans. I myself, I've been streaming for now going on 5 years. I've been a content creator for just on 7. Hero?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, 7 years? Like, I actually never really got into content creation / like streaming stuff until I guess COVID happened.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and I do feel like a lot of streamers kind of sort of like boomed out of existence just because of that. Because we're all pretty much stuck at home. We're pretty much just trying to find things that we want to do. I just somehow just stumbled upon a few friends that I saw that was announced on Twitter. Actually, I know it's not called Twitter anymore, but still, I'm going to call it Twitter.
Well, they say it's Twitter /X, so
Yeah,
I think you can
I still call it
swing.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll call it Twitter. I'll call it by its original name,
Same.
just like how I'll call Facebook by its original name.
That is fair.
Not Meta.
that is fair. That is very fair. Yeah. No, I don't disagree on that one.
Yeah. But as soon as I saw that, I saw those announcement posts. I was curious, and I knew that as a gamer myself, because I was a gamer ever since I was a kid, ever since I was like 5 years old. I knew for a fact that this was something that I could potentially do, but I never. I did give it a shot at first when I was still younger, or like I was trying to stream off my PS4. But then I noticed like all these other people like have these like webcams on. I wasn't really too comfortable with actually showing my face on camera most of the time.
Understandable.
I just wanted to just play the games that I love and also show what kind of other things that I could also do later on down the line. It first started off as, oh my gosh, like I had huge inspiration watching. I'm pretty sure a lot of people will know this name by heart, and because of they've been known as a apex predator, and they still are.
Technically,
they still play the
technically he still is. Yeah.
Still is. But for those that know,
he jumps between a few different games now, but he is technically still an apex predator. Yeah.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, that is Doryu. Doryu has been a really, really huge inspiration when it came to first-person shooters, and I'm like, I do first-person shooters as well. And all this stuff happened with trying to learn how to build my PC, because I couldn't just stream off of a laptop. I had to get something better down the line. So of course, with the streaming thing, I kind of learned how to whatever that I earned, kind of like go put that back into all the other stuff that is meant for streaming. So like my PC, my streaming setup, my audio setup, all that stuff, the lighting, all my cameras that I have right now. I used all that money for that. so that I can actually, keep on building on that streaming. I would say it is technically a business because you are contracted, and but it's the quality will always keep on improving because that's the nature of to me that's the nature of streaming. The nature of streaming is you're uh, always available to like learn and adapt to all the new stuff that people are putting out. And there's like new things that are still relevant as of right now
Yeah.
that people are trying to grab up. So, I try to as long as I've streamed for 4 years, I still am learning something new every single day because of it. Yeah.
And that's it. And it's the same with me. Like, even though I've been doing content creation for 7 years, I'm learning new things every day. Hell, this podcast is a good freaking example of that. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm pressing buttons. I'm uploading stuff. I put fancy little things on things. I'm connecting dots. I don't know what I'm doing. It's all new things for me. But again, that's the thing. Like, you're never too old to learn stuff. Like, that's one of the biggest things a lot of people don't realize. And Crystal, I'm assuming, because Crystal's sort of new to this whole thing, it's going to be a big thing for Crystal as well. But she's definitely got a good supporter behind her, and definitely got a fandom community, I should say, behind her as well. Same with you, Hiro. Like, we all have very good communities. Crystal's got a big one around her art. You have a big one around your streaming. I have one around my streaming and my TikToks. It's just how it is, and that support is what drives us to do. Again, 7 years for me is a long time. It was very spotty when I started, and that's no joke. Like, when I started, it was, oh, okay, I want to get into streaming. Oh, what do I do? Oh, go to YouTube. Okay, cool. Now what? Oh, I need to upload videos. Okay, that's cool. What am I doing? Shit. I had no idea what I was doing. I was lucky enough to hang out with a bunch of good friends at the time, part of Darken Games, Corey Coyote. He sort of was the one that sort of pushed it a little bit, and then I met a bunch of other people too. The Ranting Griffin was another good influencer. Who else did I know too? I met Moop Shark through he was actually the one that got me onto Twitch. I met him through Twitch. Moop Shark's absolutely awesome bean. He sort of was giving me these things. Oh, you should do this, add this. And I was like, oh, okay. And I kept playing with it for a while. And then I was like, okay, I don't really want to do streaming on YouTube. It was too hard. I then started doing toy reviews and gameplay videos on my YouTube channel. They took off really well. I was actually quite surprised. A lot of people actually enjoyed the toy reviews. And then I was like, I'm going to dabble a little bit into Twitch streaming. So I streamed like 1 or 2 times Spider-Man, like 2018 Spider-Man? Yeah, 2018 Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it was all right. It wasn't great, but I had like 1 or 2 viewers. And then just went from there, and the rest is pretty much history. Like, I just blew up really, really well. I kept putting my stuff out. I took TikTok up, did TikTok stuff, and then went from there. So, yeah. And Crystal, what about you? How long have you been officially now doing content creation?
Oh, well, honestly, when I started I did start when I was 17 to start to do animations at first, because I got inspired to do like small animation about warrior cats, and I keep like making them like when I was like a minor. But then I met someone that was a furry and asked for a commission. Yeah,
oh
so
you met a furry. Oh my god.
Oh my
god!
No freaking way! But no, I saw their YouTube, and I reached for them to make them stickers, and they really liked it. So he commissioned me for thumbnails, and became like his employee for a while.
Oh wow!
And then he was asking me, "Do you have Telegram? Do you have Twitter?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, you gotta make it, like you gotta do it. And I was like, oh, okay. So I started having my own account when I was 19, and that's how the whole thing started to become a furry artist and animator. But not always. But But yeah, I did enjoy it to make some content and show some work that I've been doing. Like TikTok, it's hard to make TikToks lately since I don't have ideas.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So
that's fair.
But I do love to do them. Even I have fun making Twitch live streams. I've been streaming for like 2-3 years.
Okay, so yes,
it's an on and off thing because mood.
That's a fair point. That's also another big thing. It comes down to no, that's fair. So I've got 2 years, 4 years, and 7 years. Okay, that's not a bad array of people. So I wouldn't say you're new, but you're definitely new on that sort of spectrum. Hero would be sort of the mediocre midway, and then I am probably more veteran, just by the sounds of things, just by going by that.
Yeah, wow. In a sense, yeah.
Wow, that's god, right? I'm literally everyone's daddy now. Oh god,
just stab me in the heart, goodness. Just stab me in the heart like that. Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome, son. Keep trying, you'll get there one day. But no, but it's good, and that's the thing. Like, I guess that's another good thing we can touch on. It does come down to like, do you have a drive? Do you have emotion? Do you want, like, those are sort of big things to get into content creation. TikTok for me, like with me, I just see whatever's currently trending and I try and hop onto that. That's why a lot of my TikToks are certain connections to them. Like the more recent ones have been sort of like mental health stuff, and a few people seem to really enjoy those. Every now and again there's a silly one, or I put in a clip from my stream, especially one that made a certain other corgi squeal. If you haven't seen that, go check out my TikToks. Trust me, very interesting and very loud. But yeah, that's like, for me, like,
shameless plug.
Shameless. Wow, hey, I might as well. You're allowed to plug some. Hey, your guest. You're allowed to plug your own stuff here. I got no problems with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say also, follow me on TikTok as well, and on Twitter, and also if you have Blue Sky. But I mean,
yes, that is the new thing that's come in. Ooh, that might be a topic for another discussion. Blue Sky or Twitter X? What is your choice? Anyway, maybe next week's one. I don't know.
But maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Yeah. But that seemed like, okay, so for me, when I get into streaming, like for me, it's like I try to forget about my day and I just concentrate on trying to make like others more better. Like the whole, I think I've said this to both of you actually, and I've said this probably in my own streams as well. Like the content I do is not to make me popular, not to make me rich, not to make me famous, nothing like that. It's more the fact I want to make sure that whoever comes into my stream, they forget about their day. Whether it's been a rough one, they've had fights, arguments, whatever. I want you, when you come into my stream, you're just there for entertainment. You want to forget about your day, have a laugh, have a giggle. Hell, if you do laugh, giggle, and a fart, hey, that's a triple hat trick. I'll take that any day of the week. But if I can make at least one person's day better, then I know I've done my job. To me, that's what a content creator is. Yeah, I do go through a bit, and I definitely do. The last couple of weeks have been an absolute grind fest for me. Not just in the way of like stream-wise, TikTok, and all that sort of stuff. No, I have a lot of things going on. I'm looking after a nephew every now and again. Oh my god, he drives me mad, that little bugger. But I've got work. I've just been given more. I've been sort of given a bit of promotion, so my workload's been sort of dumped on me. So it's like, oh great, I got to perform more, and then obviously streaming, podcast, TikTok. There's a lot going on my plate. And some days, and some days it's just like you don't really want to do something, but I managed to push through and I keep going. So
yeah, I was gonna say like every year has been pretty different. Especially of course, when I first started streaming, it was booming. It was like, a lot of people actually did like what I was actually doing. They loved the energy, and I still have that somewhat same energy. That still,
I think
that silly goofiness. I still have it, but I did notice like later on in the years, because I'm getting older. I'm not gonna say how old I am, but still,
you can throw your age. I noticed. No one's here to know.
Listen.
Anyway,
I noticed that my energy has been kind of sort of been a little bit lower than normal, only because I expected that I'm now a little bit over 30, and it's you know, when you're around that age, the energy is not as it used to be before. So, through the years, I just noticed like how like I became a little bit more on the side of not too hyperactive this time
Mm,
than I first started off. Because when I look back at all my clips and all my videos that I did,
yeah, you're
or like
super loud. You are
all the
super
VODs that
loud.
I had,
Mm.
I was a loud streamer, and that's the misconception. Like a lot of people think, like you actually need to be actually like really loud and
Yeah.
obnoxious and
Well, again,
annoying sometimes. And
I don't think that's a bad thing. Like sometimes it's a good thing. Hell, look at a person who's literally that exact thing, Jacksepticeye. Just an example.
well,
he's literally that thing. He's loud, he's arrogant, he does his own thing, and honestly, it works. But the benefit of being someone like that is you can at least then control. You know you're that loud. You can do the stuff like that.
right.
But for you, yeah, I get that, Hero. Like I totally get that. Like when I first saw you, when I think, God, how long now? Like 2-3 years ago. You were literally like a little kid who had just had a whole glass of red Kool-Aid, and you're just like boom, 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 boom. I'm like,
give me the Kool-Aid.
Good Lord, man, calm down. But yeah, again, it's another thing. Age, as you get older, you start to sort of mellow it out. You're starting to try. Okay, I need to work on this. I need to get this sorted. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Again, we all go through that. And that's a big
thing.
thing.
Back to the whole like thing. Like it does work for people, but it's also a part of their personality. Me, not as much. I still have like a little bit of tendencies of doing that, but it's only a part. But I know some people who actually have it as like their whole personality.
Yeah.
Which it's either one, they are like that, or two, they're doing it for the views.
Yep, I agree.
It's either or. Me, I was on the side of it was me, and then I kind of like mellowed out a little bit, so it's not as intense as it was before.
Yeah.
Still silly though.
That's fair. What about you, Crystal? How do your sort of habits go from what you were like earlier on to nowadays? You say you're more mellowed out, or?
I mean, well, so far I remember how I was back then. I was more likely wholesome and calm, and I mean, I still am, but sometimes I feel the new energy in me, like being a gremlin. But yeah. So I swear nowadays, but sometimes.
No.
Oh no!
No, you swear?
No way.
It's a part of. No, it's a part of comedy in me because not many people are used to seeing me saying like the swear words because it doesn't.
You can swear here. It's fine. I swear. I swear like a drunk sailor. You're totally fine. Go for it.
No.
I swear, I feel like that's like a hashtag Australian thing.
Hashtag Australian thing. I think I need to start a new trend. If you're listening to this podcast, hashtag Australian things.
Just Australian things.
Just do it.
Hashtag Australian things chat. Or, no, not chat. I keep saying chat.
That's fine.
I'm like, this is one of those mannerisms just like, yeah, hey chat, what's up?
That's right. This is again like it is. It's a new venture. It's a new thing. Hell, trust me. I think the first 2 episodes I kept on saying, "Hey, chat." I was like, "I'm not streaming." Shit. Okay.
To our listeners out there, to our listeners. There we go.
To the listeners, yeah.
It's just that if I do swear, it's just not soothing for my voice. But maybe they get used to it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's part of comedy or something. How I really feel. What?
You gotta show the ruggedness side of yours. So you gotta swear more.
Nah, it's just nah.
But that's the thing. You've always been a very calm. From my perspective, when I first met you, Crystal, to like even now, like when I first met you, you were very, very calm. You were very, very quiet. You were very, very soft tone, and I was like, okay, to me at the time, I was like, oh, you're like a very delicate flower. But over the years now, and since knowing you more, thanks with being with Hiro, I've learned more and more about you. So I sort of that aspect when I first met you to now is complete. What?
I thought you knew Crystal before I did.
I did.
Or what was it the other? Oh.
How long? Hiro, I literally just said I've been a part of this for 7 years. My knowledge of people is not that far behind that.
I think I met Darken for the first time in Aqua.
That is correct. You did meet me for the first time in Aqua.
Yes, I always been nice and calm, and but now streaming nowadays, I'm trying to entertain the viewers. Sometimes I have fear that I don't entertain them. You know, if I was thinking if I'm being too calm, they get bored. But in the same time, I don't think that's true because they're there to see what I'm up to, and it's very sweet, you know. And but it's just an anxious feeling I have for streaming sometimes that I don't entertain that much.
I could add on to the whole entertainment factor. Everybody has a different style or a different way of entertaining. As far as knowing you, Faye, and almost coming up to our 1 year of actually officially being together. I've
not saying that out loud
you are
or anything.
not
promoting
that people need to know or anything. Yeah, you're just saying. But no, just watching you stream and seeing like the kind of stuff that you do. I did notice that you do like to talk a whole lot, which is actually very, very necessary when it comes to streaming most of the time. Like not everybody like talks a lot, but and it's not usually necessary. But it is handy to say if like so you're trying to like if you want to add like commentary on stuff or say you're just kind of like speaking out your thought process on what you're doing. It helps out
how I feel
the people
and
that are
thoughts.
it helps out the people that are watching you understand like how you are and what kind of things you like to talk about. So yeah, it is in a way it is handy, but most of the time I've seen other people who just like they stream but they don't talk either because one they're like they're more the people that promote them are more focused on their gameplay and like say for instance like if you watch the people that stream that are like pro players, like they don't usually talk a lot. And then especially like whenever there's like a tournament or even
I think it comes down to what they're doing at the time. If it's a tournament related thing, so good example is last weekend was contest mode for Destiny 2. If you were watching any Twitch streamers at the time, you would have noticed they were not focusing on chat, they were just focusing on the game. And that's fine. Sometimes people are just there because they want to see what's got the content, and the streamer is sort of like the second thing. But then there's times like in some games, a good example would be Animal Crossing. Like when I did Animal Crossing, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a pretty flimsy, just chatting country. And that's the thing, the music, the environment of that game. People are there not just for the game, they're there for you because they want to get to know you, have a chat, things like that. So that also then comes down to like what you are playing and what you are doing. I'm going to maybe piggyback a little bit off Crystal's thing where Crystal's, when she does art, like for me, while she's doing art, she can do her art and she can still talk because that's still a way for her to concentrate, but at the same time keep conversation. For something like you and me here, if we did like, say, Apex or Destiny or Fortnite, both of us can sort of do an attention swap, like we can jump from chat and game, depending on what it is. If it's like competitive mode style, okay, we're going to be more concentrating. But the thing is, though, you and I can easily just ramble off and do random things. Again, we've done that in the past. We've both played Apex, we've both played Fortnite, and we're throwing...
We're just like casually just talking, and we're just playing pubs, and we're just messing around, basically.
Exactly.
But we're just there to like just play games together and have fun.
Exactly, and I think that's a lot of thing. Like it comes down to how you perceive and how you want to do it. There is going to be people out there who just want to come for the game. Hey, that's fine. We're not knocking that. And then there's going to be people there that are just come because of the content creator. So again, it can be a balancing act sometimes. You just got to find that right, not genre, but right balance, I guess would be the best way of saying it. Correct? You guys agree on that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could say that. Yeah.
Because again, it comes down to like what it is. Like I think another one is what is it? A Starfield. I think that's the latest one that's out right now. A lot of people don't know. It's like, oh, Bethesda's done this. I've watched a few people play it. It looks like a stunning game, absolutely beautiful game. But then there's some that are like they're just playing the game. I'm like,
everyone being a critic. Everyone is a critic somehow.
Yeah, that's it. That's another thing. Like, it just comes down to what do you want to be known for? Do you want to be known as a content creator because you play a game, or you want to be known as a content creator because you're engaging? Like, that's one of the biggest. I've sort of been seeing a lot lately. A lot of people focused on one or the other.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yeah.
Like I can handpick half a dozen people now, and I could say like they're this, and then you could do the same hero, and then Crystal could do the same, and we'd have a mismatch of different people.
Right. I remember that I was known as a Super Animal Royale content creator at the time because that was like one of the very first few games when I first played, when I first started, and I kept on doing that for months and months on end because I was actually having a lot of fun with it, and I was actually kind of sort of good at it at the time before all the new updates and they finally officially released the game. This was like during like pre-beta or like during alpha stage in a way,
which was before COVID.
Pre-beta basically.
Yeah.
So I was known to make content for that at first until I started shifting gears. I was like, I want to do all these other games that I'm also interested in, not so much just do Super Animal Royale all a bunch. Then I started playing my other favorite games that I like to play. So it was like rhythm games, then zombie survival games like Resident Evil, and then after that I tried to shift over to things that are like happening during the season. So like say, if it's October, I would mostly focus on playing spooky games or horror games during that whole entire month. So like depending on the month or depending on like what I actually was feeling at the time, I would change it. But then I noticed that some people didn't really exactly come down to see that. But then that's the thing about being a streamer slash a content creator. You're always like looking for like something new to kind of sort of do, but also it's something that you also enjoy at the same time.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you don't want to be I guess the other thing is you don't want to be stale. I think that might be a bit hard
stale.
To say,
but I wouldn't say stale.
No. That's what I mean.
I think I'm
trying to think of the word. But that's what popped into my head.
One trick pony.
Yeah, I guess that's another way.
That sounds a little bit more harsh in a sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
one trick pony.
But what I was trying to get at is like you don't want to be sticking to just like. Again, I'm not knocking it. Some people are like that. If you want to stick to one game just to build an audience, hey, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're good at that game and you enjoy it, you can have fun with it. Hey, no one's stopping you. Go for it. Play those games.
Or even like people that are artists, like because I know like
that's a different thing.
Crystal,
yeah, but that's the thing. Artists are a little bit different. Art can be because again, with an artist compared to say the one trick pony / say or whatever, an artist can at least change what the image is. Because with an artist, they're doing different arts, they're doing different designs, things. It's always changing. So art is like probably one of the only one thing where you can say, oh, that is as sad as it is, but a one-trick pony or a stale thing, because it is something that is always going to be changing. Whereas something like you said, when you started out here, you were Super Animal Royale. That's all you did for months. To me, that's a one-trick pony, or that's the stale thing. You've been playing that game for so long, that's become stale. Again, nothing's wrong with that. I'm saying this right now, so all the listeners, I'm just saying this. Don't take offense to this. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. When I started out, I only stuck with only a very few things like Destiny. I did a little bit of Apex, and then every blue moon I would throw in a random game. But at the same time, those are things I was good at the time. You have to learn to sort of find I guess a niche and sort of go with that. If you're good at one thing, hey, implement that. Show people that, like, hey, I'm an artist. This is the stuff I do. I'm assuming, again, I don't know 100%, but Crystal, I'm sure you always have art-related stuff on your stream, whether it be like designs you've done, your emotes, things like that, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. with me and Hero, we're always updating stuff because, again, that's who we are. We've got either new avatars or we're changing our overlays to fit the current game we're playing. Like you said, it also comes down to seasons, holidays. October's usually a kind of an interesting one because
or celebrations,
those sort of things. So we're always trying to evolve and adapt to the audience, I guess is the best way of going about it. And you want to make sure that you know what works for you, but will also work for how to maybe get an attention of a viewer. I know when I started out, I was very limited in what I did. I think the first couple of months, I just stuck to Spider-Man. I was so engaged in this game. I absolutely loved Spider-Man 2018 version. I just, that's all I wanted to do. And then I was like, I'm going to dabble in something else. Obviously, I was lucky enough to become part of the SAR community. I was given a founder thing, and I was able to play that. So I played that, did that for a while. No problems. And then eventually, I think I went to Apex. I never got anywhere as far as someone like Doryu. That would be nice. Never got into it as big as I did back then. Then I stepped away, and I just started doing variety games. I started doing all sorts of different things. But as the years...
And that's the thing, though. Like with Doryu, like, he didn't really... At first, it was more of a belief thing. Like, he didn't actually believe that he would actually be...
where he is now.
Like, at the top of his game, or at where he is as of right now. But then, because of his passion to like keep on learning and keep on improving himself,
he just got better and better.
He got to that point. Yeah, he got to that point. He actually like put in the work, and he actually was able to do everything possible, whether it be those aim lab, learning about the different mice that they have to use, because every mouse that you use, you know, depending on your play style and how your grip is for
can be different,
for your mouse, it can entirely change up on how you are able to play. And that's where it goes into the topic of the right tools for the right person. Is making sure that, like, you know, because I know this even goes with stuff with streaming equipment as well. Not every single streaming equipment is gonna be the same for everybody. Everybody has, like, you know, all these different mics that is for different tones or different accents and attenuations. Then you also have I guess even what kind of stuff are you gonna be doing with that equipment too. And if you're not utilizing the whole entire thing, it's kind of like it feels like it's a bit of a waste, unless like you actually learn how to use the full properties of that equipment. So it's the same thing with Doryu. Like, they had to learn about like what they actually needed to be pro in their sense.
But it's also the same thing, like, and it's the same with artists as well, I'm assuming. Like, artists have to learn different brush strokes, different things. Like, I'm assuming that's one of the biggest things you would have to some, say, like a gamer like Doryu. You would have, and you've done that a lot, haven't you, Crystal? Like, you've evolved. Like you said, you started out, you were doing art styles, and then you went to animation, and now you're doing like models and stuff like that.
Yes, I had no idea what type of style I want my art to be until it came out of nowhere. Somewhat cartoon or anime or Disney. No clue what style to call. I just call it like a mix Disney anime or something like that. But every one of my friends say it's cartoon. I'm like upset because I don't want it to be. But yeah, I don't know. But it does take a while to learn the skills of the art and the brushes. But you have to learn the technique. You want to follow the flow to the brush of if you're comfortable with the brush you use. If you're not comfortable with it, you have to choose something else. Like a brush that looks like a pencil or a pen or like paintbrush, you know? And it's tough to choose the right one. For me, I have multiple different brushes to try them out. And if it looks nice and if it fits well to the piece, you keep it until you figure out what you want to shade on.
I'm assuming when you're doing your art on stream, I'm assuming you tell like your viewers, hey, this is the sort of stuff. So if someone's like jumps in and they're starting out, they're like, oh, what do you think of certain brush strokes and stuff like this? I'm assuming you do get people like that in your stream time to time.
Yeah, they do ask what program I use and what brush I use, and I'm terrible with name with the brushes because most of them are Japanese.
Yeah, fair.
So I just told them that there's a store you can go to, the Clip Studio, and just search on the brushes, what type of brushes you wanted to have.
That's fair.
And for example, you type down tree brushes, and it gives you multiple brushes about the tree veins, you know? And it looks good. It looks realistic, and it's what I used.
Nice.
And yeah, I don't
Going
know
back to
what
the
else
whole
to.
right tools for the right for the person or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Right tools
Yeah,
for the right
using
thing.
yeah, right tools for the right thing.
exactly. It does help you to improve your skills, and I do. I draw like for so many years, like 8 years or 7. So it's been like so long. I have been improved, and since you're looking back from the very first art you did for digital, you would be like, God, I've been improving. I'm proud of myself, and you want to show the whole world about it. Like even from streaming, you want to see them like watch you to draw some stuff, and well, just talk a bit, and yeah,
Go from there.
I don't know.
No, that's fine. That's totally fine. Like I said, we're trying to get sort of more of an idea, like how, again, and this is for like any listeners as well. It's like they want to see, because again, we've got a very good variety of an age difference between all of us from different experiences and stuff like that. So it's good to see, and it gives the listeners a chance to say, oh, okay, so maybe if I do like this, I can end up going a bit further. Like, that's the thing. Like, at the same time, I guess that's another thing we can touch on is the fear. That's one of the biggest things. A lot of people fear that, oh, my content's not going to be good enough, or my art's not going to be good enough. Like, that's a big factor when it comes to being a content creator, whether it being an artist like Crystal or a TikToker, a streamer like me and Hiro. That is a big thing. Fear is one of the biggest factors when it comes to becoming a creator, because you just don't know whether your stuff's going to be good enough or whether it's going to shine. Do you guys want to sort of touch on this as well, or do we want to maybe? I feel like we should touch on it because I think it's a good thing to let people know. Like, you shouldn't be afraid of it, because again,
I used to be afraid. I used to be the kind of person that was always fearing about, and I know this is probably a big fear for a lot of people, but fearing that things will fail or just fear of failure altogether. It was a big thing for me because, it kind of tied into just a little bit into my childhood in a way where just like, because with the parenting and everything, with the how they view success, right? To me, like, it always felt like whatever that I was doing was like it wasn't good enough, or like I was always failing. But in the field of streaming, it was essentially because I'm the boss, I'm the streamer. So like whatever that I do for my streams is basically all on me.
Yes, exactly.
I don't have anybody else to pretty much like judge whether or not if I am actually failing or if I'm actually being successful. And so that's why when I put my streams out, I still yes, I still have that kind of sort of nervous feeling of, will this be good enough, or like will this actually be entertaining enough for people to watch whatever that I'm doing? And I sort of just kind of had to, at the time, push that thought or that feeling down so it doesn't really affect me as much. But it's still it eventually will pop up every
Yeah.
now and then. It's not as bad as it was before because I've been seeing a lot of people. I've been also been trying to get a lot of feedback from the people that I that watch me, that are part of my community, and if they see nothing wrong with it, then it's just like, that
Keep
tells
moving
me
on. Yeah.
that I'm actually doing a good job, and I just keep doing what I'm doing. And then,
That's fair.
of course, when it comes to criticism, I know not a lot of people are good with adding criticism to to streams and such. But for those that know how to actually give good criticism, I try to take that and I try to look back and I see if that's what is actually something that I could actually fix, or if it's something that I could actually improve on.
So
If not, then it's just pretty much going to stay the same overall. But
would you take
still the fear? Sorry, yeah.
No, that's fine.
Like my brain.
No,
My brain is
fine.
still trying to wrap around the whole like fear stuff.
No,
But
and that's fine. But what I was going to get at is like, so the way you're explaining, and I want to break that down for the listeners and all that sort of. So with you, if someone gives you a good criticism about something about your stream, you think that's something you could fix, or it's something that that needs to be addressed? Because there's going to be the reason why I'm asking is that because you bring that up, it has to be a good criticism. The problem is nowadays there is no such thing as a good criticism. There's just criticism. That's one of the biggest things. I think that's where a lot of I guess in a way it is for newer streamers, I guess is the big thing. They can't deal with criticism. Someone like me, I'm going to use, this is me being the bigger man here when it comes to my years of experience. I've never had a good nor bad criticism. I've just had criticism as a whole. My attitude to it is, and this is something that this has been a plague to me, but it's also a way that if I can beat this, then I know what I'm doing is the right thing. So why I say there's no such thing as a good criticism or a bad criticism, that comes down to how you take it. Now, just as an example, I come to your stream, Hiro, and let's just say, oh, I really hate your stream, it's too bright. How would you just play around? So how would you count that? Would you count that as a good criticism, or you count that as a bad criticism?
See, my mind is already pushing to the fact of like, what do you mean too bright? But at the same time too, if I know for a fact that they're actually just saying that to kind of like to tick me off, then I would just laugh about it.
Okay.
But let's say in an instance that it is them actually giving me criticism.
Okay.
Whether if it's good or bad. I would pretty much be like, okay, like I apologize. Let me see if I could actually fix that for you. But so, I could also ask. I can also gauge it too by asking other people that are also watching, and if they tell me, "Oh, it's fine," and everything is just like like, okay, everybody else says it's fine. I don't know why. So you're telling me that it's bright.
But you see what I mean. But you see what I mean. That's so to me, from what you just said, that now tells me neither of it was good or bad. It's just a criticism. You see what I mean? So for me,
I do see it now.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. You got to be careful how we as content creators say what counts as a good criticism and what counts as a bad criticism, because it all comes down to how it's worded. So a good example is when I first started streaming, and I'm going to use my preview, and I have a criticism for this. Someone said to me my audio was terrible. I'm going to tell you this now. Please, for the love of God, don't stress about that. If someone comes in and says your audio is shit, please don't stress. That just means the next. Yeah,
I was stressed out about it.
That's one of the biggest.
I was so stressed.
Yeah, I remember my first stream. Now, this is me back. Oh God, this was pre-COVID. back living at a really bad house. I lived with my parents. Yes, I'll admit it. I lived at my parents' house when I started streaming. Shush. But the thing was, though, I was running off a blue... Well, at the time, it was off a iPhone headphone cable charger, or whatever you want to call it. That mic was obviously freaking terrible. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, I'm just going to do this and see where it goes. And yeah, I'll admit, it was atrocious. I've gone back and watched that video. Ugh, I hate it. I sound weird.
Yeah.
But again, the thing was, I went, okay, so clearly an audio is the big factor. How do I fix this? Okay, I need to invest into a proper mic. Obviously, you're a kid, you're doing this, that, whatever. That's fine. I will say this now, and I'm sure Hiro and Crystal will both agree to me. Do not stress going for the big shiny, that's everyone's getting this mic. Don't do that. Please, for the love of God, don't do that. You can go to your local store. One of my ones is Kmart. We have a Kmart here, or Big W is another one, or Target. Yes, I'm naming up for quite a big few Australian stores here. Just go with me here. They have recently started doing streaming / podcast setups in their stores. So you can go in there and buy pretty basic setups for this sort of stuff. And I'm not going to lie, they're actually pretty damn good. I think there's a setup they've got in the local Kmart here. You can get a mic, pop filter, and a stand for under $100. It's not the greatest, but you know what? That's a start. So that was one of the, and that was the thing. When I was starting out, I didn't know what I was doing. No one told me what to do. No one said, go get this mic, go get this filter, none of it. I had to research everything. And when I mean everything, when I started out 7 years ago, no one told me what I needed. I did everything. I was looking at all these different streaming websites. I was looking at, okay, what's a good audio source? I did everything. So I was always trying to, I back check things, went back and forth. Eventually I saved enough money and I bought my first one, which is a Blue Yeti. I still have the Blue Yeti. I use it as a traveling mic now. And it was great. It was fine. It was chunky. I thought, oh yeah, okay, whatever. And it worked. It went really well. And I did that for 4 or 5 years. It actually did really well. Again, there was a few times I was either really, really high, really, really low. I ended up getting like a filter for it and made it a little bit better. But that's the thing. I started out with something really basic and then I got better over time. So what I'm trying to get at is, don't take a criticism straight away as a bad criticism. Sometimes the people are just saying, hey, you've got a bad mic. You should maybe think about something better. That's why I say I don't believe in good and bad criticism. I just believe in criticism. Now, there are people out there, I'm not going to name anyone in particular, and I've had people who have always said, oh, Darken, no one seems to come to my streams. Why can't I get the views like you do? I hate hearing that. That's one of the things that nicks me all the time. It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest fears, and I know this is a lot of people say, oh, but it's not that. I'm telling you right now, that is a fear. You are literally going to fear and say, hey, give me this. Please, for the love of God, don't stress. If you've been in this for a year, if you've been this in a couple of months, whatever, and you don't see results, first of all, take a breath. My best suggestion for you would be always look at your own content. One of the biggest things when I grew up streaming, no one criticized me. Everyone always said, oh, I was good. Oh, this or that. That was it. I never knew how good or bad I was because no one really said anything. When you had like 1 to 2 viewers, you don't get that stuff. So I ended up re-watching my streams. And then I started to go, oh, I was too loud. Oh, shit, that was okay. And then as I did that over the years, I slowly learned what I needed to do. So as the years went on, as I kept learning from watching my own VODs, I was like, okay, I need to add audio to this. Oh, I could have done that. I could have done this. And then I slowly learned how to do things. If you want to get better at your own content and you want people to maybe notice that, take a look at your own self. That's one of the biggest advice I can give anyone. So don't fear the criticism. That is the biggest thing I can recommend to anybody. Because again, I wouldn't be where I am, Hiro wouldn't be where I am, and I'm definitely sure Crystal would not be where she is if we did not get that sort of feedback or what we did, because it is a scary thing. Trust me, starting out, it is a scary factor because there's already big streamers out there who have got like thousands and hundreds of views. I'm going to say this now, just don't stress. You are new to the platform, or you might be in it for a year or two and you still don't see results. Just, my advice would be just chill for a second, take a step back, and just look at what you've done. That would be one of the biggest things to get out of that fear pocket. Another fear pocket would be don't stress the numbers. That's just one of the biggest content creator thing, and especially for a Twitch streamer. Do not stress on the numbers. You want numbers to grow.
Man. Yeah.
If you want your numbers to grow, then stop focusing on them. I haven't looked at my numbers for 6 years. This year is the only year I've only ever shown my number because I was genuinely curious. And now it's like, the numbers don't bother me anymore. I just don't care anymore. If you can go a stream without looking at your number once, and then at the end of the day you check your analytics, that is the only time you should look at your number. Because you will be surprised. You start looking at it, you're going to notice a result. But if you leave it until the end and then you notice a different number, then you know you're doing the right thing. But the fear is where people gets at, and that's where issues like this happen. I would say
even just wanting to improve, or just because I will say this, and this applies to not only just streaming, it applies to everywhere else in life. When it comes to failure, do not be afraid to fall.
Oh yeah.
Because do not be afraid to fall. But as long as you have the people that like your friends or anybody that is
support
there,
groups,
supporting you, any of your support groups are there to help you pick you back up and brush off the dust and just start over again, then you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I've had that multiple times where like I had that feeling that I was failing, but because I had such a huge support group / community and telling me that like it'll be fine, you'll be able to get back up again, I believed in it.
Yep.
And I kept on pushing, I kept on trucking through because of them. So hopefully
all there's me with the baseball bat raining after you saying, get over it, get over it, get over
it. Not like that. But to everyone that's going to be listening to this, I just hope that you'll also be able to find those support groups or even friends that can help you, that can support you as well, and keep pushing you forward in whatever endeavor that you're doing. Yeah.
What about Crystal? What about you? Do you have any like points on this as well? Because again, for you as an artist, I'm sure you would get you would have been bombarded with criticism right and center when you started out.
I really was very, very self-conscious with my work because like the first time I started, like it doesn't look like just like the picture. It doesn't look like what I thought it would look like, and I just kept like done with myself, like not making it how I want it to be. But then maybe I saw some inspiration videos or my own brain saying like, hey, you got this. It doesn't look as you wanted, but you get better in the future. And look at me now. I'm actually getting used to with my own work and style. Even I am still like changing the style a little bit, because every month I'm drawing something, it changed the style, and I'm not doing anything. I just see inspirations and draw the same thing, and you get better for yourself. It's okay, and Hiro and you are right to say that it's okay to fail, because it's a learning experience. It's a learning experience with yourself, with your skill, with your behavior, with your mistakes, with your success. So it's actually normal.
Yeah.
Because nothing can be perfect, but you will be able to make it perfect when you see yourself succeed. So
no, and that's it. I'll pick your brain a little bit more, Crystal, with it, because again, obviously for someone like me and Hiro, we don't fully know artists. Like we don't, well, take that back. Not fully, we don't fully understand how an artist's mind works compared to someone like us, where it comes to the content and stuff like that. So with you, when you first started out doing, again, because you started as an artist before becoming content, when you started getting your criticism, your sort of thing, how did you handle it? How did you go about it? This would probably be good for the listeners that are like artists, they just don't know what to do. Like, I'm assuming you would have gotten some pretty harsh comments when you first started doing art, correct?
Not really.
Not really. Okay.
Not really. I didn't get any bad comments.
Okay.
Maybe there was, but I don't think it is a bad one.
Okay.
No, I didn't get any bad comments before.
But you would have.
I remember one video. Wait, I do remember one thing. I remember that I made a meme animation of myself with my old Sona, and I got a weird ass comment of a video link by Flash Kids. It was like Flash Kids like having an animated video about furries getting killed and how it's like to be a furry. And I'm like, okay, oh cool.
Oh man.
But that's I deleted that comment because it was inappropriate.
And that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, but the rest of it, like, I never had like bad comments about my artwork before.
What about? Did you have any like criticisms about like what it was or like posing, stuff like that? Because again, I'm sure. Like again, I don't fully know, but I'm.
Oh, that okay. Yeah, I did had a client that was actually a bit picky with the style I was doing. For example, I made like a normal smile. They want a smile, right? And then they kept saying that they don't like it, and I feel like very self-conscious, like, oh, I'm trying my best to make it perfect the way they want it, and it's still not coming out as they want, and I'm like giving up, like I feel like I'm not doing it right, but also a bit complained with the clients from being so picky or so demanding of having it perfect that I'm trying my best to do it. But I didn't say anything what my complaint was. I just go for it because there's no reason to,
Yeah.
And then when I finished it, they like it but never used it, and never commissioned me again. And I was like, okay, that's good, because I'm not having that again.
So I'm assuming, in a sense, so that would be like, so basically they gave you criticism, you took it on board, you tried to obviously make it to what they wanted. Obviously something arose, they obviously weren't happy with you, and then they just moved on. Would you sort of say that's like a fair thing?
I mean, if they're not happy with my work, then commission someone else instead of me if you're not happy. So I just make others happy. If my work doesn't make you happy, just commission someone else. Just don't bother me to be complained about it. Like, if you don't like my style, just go for somewhere else, honestly.
Yeah, but what I'm sort of getting at is, like, in that instance, like, again, like I said, I don't fully understand it. That's why I'm asking the question, and it might help, like I said, obviously listeners, their things. So obviously something went awry, I don't know what, and he just decided you weren't the right thing for you. Did you feel like you did everything to your power to make the client happy, or would you say that that was a failed thing and you just sort of, you moved on from it? Like, I want to sort of grasp that for listeners to get an idea, because again, there's going to be new artists, and we know there's new artists coming into this fandom all the time, and a lot of them will probably eventually get to a point where they're going to be like, again, I'm not saying it's going to be the exact same as you, but it can happen where a client turns around and says, you didn't do what I asked for, and then eventually they went, you know what, I'm done with it, and move on. So what I want you to sort of explain to you, how did that make you upset, or did that drive you to keep getting better and doing better? Sort of what I'm sort of get out of it a bit. Because obviously that would have hurt you a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, you wouldn't have just walked away with that. But because of that experience, you knew how to grow as an artist, in a sense.
Yes. Like, the main rule for an artist, don't ever pressure an artist. because it makes them feel very pressured, like like full of pressure. It's like not a good focus for yourself. But I do get hurt when they say they didn't get what they wanted. But of course I would feel sad about it, but I do not want them to be unhappy. I would love to fix it. And if that's making anything better, that's pretty much a good goal. Like seeing them satisfied. And if it does, it can happen that an artist can like ignore it, like don't want to do it anymore. It's just because it depends how the artwork looks like. If it was this much detail, if it was this much effort, and they're asking you to change like everything or just a small thing that you cannot change, it can be like a bother for yourself. Like, oh, I can't fix this because it's too much work. I'm already delaying something else. I'm already stressed from school. I'm already stressed with this detail. So it could be pressuring for artists, but
so
it's okay to say no.
Okay.
It's okay to say no, but it's okay to say yes too if you want to be able to finish it and fix it.
Would you say that like being like that for you, say that would be a fear, yeah? Failing something for a client, that would be your fear, in a sense. But at the same time, you also know how to go above that, right? Like, because again, you've got a good support behind you. You obviously didn't get the right result, but like you said, you went on to something else, and obviously whoever was the next client, they loved what you did, and things were fine. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So So there you go. It's the same thing. Sometimes you fail at it. You don't have to feel too bad about it. There's always going to be another time. So.
Yes.
On average, like I'm assuming, like you've had a fair share of good clients and bad clients. I'm assuming. Would you, with all the bad clients, would you, if they ever, like, let's say one of your old clients came back to you a couple of years later, would you still take? Just an example. I'm not saying that it would happen, but say an old client has seen your recent work. They obviously like it now. Would you take them back on, or would you decline?
I would.
You would?
I would.
Okay.
I would. There are times that there are clients that was not happy with me, and it's a true story. I took a long time to make their stuff, but I have my own reason. I have my own life to focus, and even it was so long, I never mean to make them delay.
Yeah.
I always keep like apologizing. I keep like trying to find an excuse to make them like believe me that it's actually true about my story. And if they don't want it, it's the most fear I have is refunds. The refunds are my most fear I have because I have nothing to return. I'm poor as fuck. So
well, again, we're not all rich people here. Like I'm sure Hiro here can confirm that as well. Trust me, I'm struggling.
But
no comment.
Honestly, as an artist, like me, I'm sometimes slow, sometimes fast. It depends how I feel. But I want everybody to realize that I do care for them to be happy with my work, and I never mean to make them delay. I never mean to make them like skipping or anything. I just take my time and not pressure myself. If it's too long, then let me know. I prefer them telling me how the update is going. It's a good reminder for the artist because it can help them to update right now or tomorrow or next week, or you don't know what they're up to, like having vacations or what's going on.
Which is also another big thing,
Exactly. So it's important.
Well, I think we've touched on that subject pretty well. I think the fear side of it. What about burnout? Now, this is another big thing for when it comes to content creation. I'm bringing this up because I'll tell you what, I'm not lying.
Oh boy.
About probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, I almost had my first major burnout, and it almost happened again yesterday. thanks to a particular streamer, but I will not reveal their name. So you probably heard the saying, you probably know what burnout is. If you don't, basically burnout is basically a content creator has gotten to a point where they're just burnt out. They don't have any drive. They're not interested in something. They've just had enough. So they're just taking a time away. They wanting a break. I myself have definitely gone through it quite a few times. I know Hiro's gone through it a few times because I've actually been around when he's been hit with it. I'm assuming as an artist, Chris, well, you'll be fine.
but you know what I mean. Like there are certain moments where like I do have burnout again, or like just it'll come back to me, and then like I don't feel inspired to like either do any streams or like make videos.
Mm-hmm. True, that can happen. Yeah.
What about it as
I
an
do have
artist?
burnout every now and then.
And what about
as
you,
an
Chris?
artist?
Yeah, do you get burnout from it? You just had enough.
Yeah, I do. Like like when you, for example, you do one art piece or a sketch, you get burned out easily because
well,
your
that's
brain
fair.
cannot comprehend to do more. There's one friend of mine that can finish 4 art pieces for one day, and I'm like, how can she do
God
this?
damn.
I want that skill, and I'm like, help me. But I don't know. She kept working, and I'm like, I want that.
I guess that's probably part of the burnout. Like, they know how to get over the burnout, which is a thing. Like with me, like when it comes to a burnout, I need some time away. I need to just step away. So I've done it in the past where I've just disappeared. Like I've gone. I guess what I'd say. I've gone like social media quiet. I just don't talk to anyone. I disappear for a bit just to readjust things. Yesterday I got hit really hard with it, and I won't say the name. They came in and they were expecting me to help them improve, and it was just like, dude, I've just spent 48 hours dealing with freaking Destiny 2 contest mode. I've had 4 hours sleep out of 24 hours, and I'm literally 20 minutes from work. You can't expect me to do anything for you. And then he basically just sort of like, oh, I expect you to help me out. I want this. And it's like, dude, seriously, I literally just told you what's happened. Like, leave me. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh God, what have I done? Like, I've pushed myself so far. I'm told this person what they need, and then they've come back and they're starting to attack me. And I'm like, I honestly don't know how I feel now. And I almost snapped. I really almost snapped at them. And I knew as soon as I was going to do that, I wouldn't be able to come back from it. Like, I know if I said something, just one thing, I'd either destroy this person, make this person upset, or they would just be done. And that's the thing. Like, burnout is a real thing. Again, Crystal and Hiro will admit this. It is a big thing, and it does happen to content creators. I'm sorry, but if anyone says no, it doesn't, that's a load of crap. I'm sorry to say this. Burnout will happen to a content creator. It might not be now. It could be in a few weeks. Could be a couple of days. Again, don't know. One of the biggest things that people need to understand is don't expect a streamer to be the answers to things, or even an artist. We can't give you an answer. Because remember, we are everyday people as well.
In the end, yeah, I was gonna say, like, we're all still people. We all still have stuff that we're going through ourselves, and if we're not readily available to be able to do the things that we normally like to do, yeah, just expect us to kind of be a little bit on the crankier side, or even like it's just out of focus, like really out of focus. Because I've had those times too, like on stream where I'm trying to focus on this thing, or like I probably like did it, like I'm streaming, but then somewhere in the middle of the stream, I am just like so mentally burnt out. I can't feel like I could actually talk a whole lot. Like there are times where like I just need time to recuperate, or just be able to reset. And some people don't give those people those options. It's just like, well, you're the streamer, like you're supposed to help me out, or you're supposed to be like a certain way when you're on stream. I'm just like, well, today's not one of those days, and I apologize.
Would you
No,
guys?
I don't apologize. Actually, I don't apologize.
Yeah.
I've like you don't understand the things that I have to go through, and especially with like juggling life and everything, and then keeping up with streams, keeping up with making videos, keeping up with social media, and also
Mm.
keeping up with social friend groups, or even just like socializing. There's a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
on my plate that I have to balance.
I
So
guess the best way you could say it is the streamers, content creators are not therapists. That's one of the biggest things a lot of people don't realize. We're
yeah,
not therapists. We're not authorized. We're not governed. We're none of that. We're just random people on the internet trying to do content. A good example of this, and I'm going to bring this up because it did bring up a big debacle over Twitch and over. So yeah, now I was about to call it X, but then it's like, no, it's TikTok, and then it's like, oh my god, I can't. Oh, this name is terrible. Hey, why did Musky Husky have to do that? Anyway,
Musky Husky.
that's what he's being called around from what I've been hearing.
He doesn't deserve that title.
I'll send you the reference, and then you'll understand why I'm saying the name. Anyway, but basically, there was a streamer. He was streaming just like anyone else, like us, and all that. And then a viewer came in and he asked, how are you doing? How's things? Haven't seen you in a while. You know, the basic sort of thing. She said that she hadn't been around because she had recently had to bury her mother. She had it cremated and all this. So she was in a bit of a rut. She obviously had a bad day. Now, myself, if someone said that to me, I'm like, oh god, I'm sorry to hear, my condolences. Like, I would be very empathetic because it's like, oh my god, that's a big thing. That's like you had to bury your mum. Oh my god, shit. This streamer, who I will not rename, trust me, you can find the video clip and it's pretty horrid. The streamer, either a switch went off in his head, I don't know what, must have just blanked, literally told her to F off. Live on stream. He literally said, get out of my effing stream. Ooh. I do not want your bad drama in here. We're a big positive thing and I don't need this kind of shit on my stream. You're da-da-da-da. He literally roasted her for 10 minutes.
Goodness me.
And it's like,
wow.
Dude, they've just buried their mother. Do you not have a heart? I am sorry. And it's like, we're sorry. So if your mother suddenly dies, you want us to tell you to F off? Like, seriously? My God.
That's terrible.
To me, that is.
I will argue that not a lot of people know how to handle those type of situations.
This is
true. It may be really shitty. It may be really crappy of how they do it, but it still sucks to hear it.
But what I'm meaning is, like, if someone came in and said that in your stream, would you react in the way and tell him to F off? Like, you don't want them. Like,
no.
Exactly. I myself
as a streamer myself, I try to remain professional as possible. But also at the same time too, still being myself and still wanting
which
to,
is fine. But this where I'm going with this is, so he overreacted. He got so angry with this person. They only just came in and he's having a go at them. So what I'm trying to get at is, like, if someone, and I know this for a fact because I've actually had someone who's done that. I've had it in a couple of streams. Someone has come in and said they went to their partner's funeral or they've just recently buried one of their parents. Now, of course, that does hit a streamer pretty hard.
Yeah.
But you do not, and I'm going to say this now, you do not have to feel like you're burdening us. Just expect that we're not going to try and, we can't do too much for you. That's one of the big things, because I know where this person's going with it. She just wanted some sort of comfort. She just wanted to know, hey, look, we understand, we're sorry for your loss, and then move on. And hopefully she would have, gotten better during the stream goes on. But the way he handled that, I feel, was the wrong way of doing it. That's what I'm sort of getting. Like, if someone came to you, said they've recently lost their partner, dog, whatever, would you go out of your way and tell them to leave? Or would you be compassionate enough to say, hey, I'm sorry for your loss. Just all I would suggest, sit back, relax, enjoy. Hopefully I can make you smile a little bit, make you forget about it all. and hopefully you'll have a good day. That's what I'm sort of
I'm
trying to
always
get
about
at.
the second option.
Yeah.
I'm always about the second option because I've
Yeah.
learned that like whether if it's true or not, I still need to show that I am sympathetic about it, or like that it's something tough that they're actually going through at the moment, and
I
that's
just
why
need
I
to,
just say like I'm
yeah,
sorry for your loss, or I'm sorry that this is happening to you, but I hope that that just being here in the stream will make you feel a bit better. But you're more than welcome to just chill and hang. That's what I usually
yeah,
say
yeah. So,
whenever like I see something similar in that fashion.
because it is
It's
it's
still a win-win, whether if it's
exactly.
somebody, like I said, whether if it's somebody trolling or if they actually did lose something
I
or
feel
somebody
yeah. Well,
or
see, that's the
something.
thing. Like, it depends on how. To me, it depends on how, as a streamer, how you handle it. So, if you handle it in the way this guy did, I would instantly like cancel my subscription and move away from that stream. That's toxic. That's something that no one should be a part of. But if you can be somewhat sympathetic, you can understand them, but at the same time also try and keep the vibe going. Because obviously his whole thing is, oh, it's good vibes. I don't need negative vibes. The thing is though, we're always, as a content creator, we're always going to get negative, and we're also going to get positive. But how you react to it is how the stream will continue. If you react to it badly, for example, like that content creator, you're going to get into some bit of spotlight, and there's going to be some things. But if you're someone like, I guess,
Negative light.
yeah. But if you're someone who takes it on, you understand it, but then say to them, look, not much I can do for you. But hey, look, if you just sit back, enjoy the content, maybe I can make you smile a little bit, and just be sympathetic with them. I feel like that you're not losing the vibe. You're sort of just slowly making it calmer, sort of like getting it back to like sort of like normality. Because again, a death, a burial, all that is a negative thing. Not a bad negative thing, but a good negative thing. Because obviously someone's passed away. But how you perceive it will determine on how that vibe in your stream is going to continue. So that's one of the biggest things I worry about, is like someone's going to come in, they're going to say something, and it's going to throw me out of whack. And what happened with me yesterday was I had just done my stream. I'd been going, I think I was on like 9-10 hours, running on 4 hours sleep, one meal. I was already buggered. I went to sleep, about 4 or 5 hours sleep, and then I had to go to work. And then I'm getting hounded by someone to fix a problem that doesn't really, in a sense, have to involve me in any way, shape, or form. But they tried to make it my problem. That's what I have that fear of. Like, I help people where I can. I'm sure Hero does the same thing. I know Hero's helped me with a bunch of audio stuff. Crystal probably gets as well as an artist. As Crystal said before, you asked a friend for some help as well. Sometimes you need to understand a streamer. Once they hit that end button, unless they are fine, mentally fine, please don't expect us to be able to help you, because sometimes we just can't.
All we can do is advise, like say
exactly.
advices, and just hope you the best, and
or
like,
just show your support.
Exactly. We can only do support, and I don't get why that's. I don't know, like people has to be so rude, even it's true or not. Like even if someone did say like they lost your dog or parents or siblings,
it's terrible.
Gonna be like. I'm always going to be like feeling bad for them. Even I don't have that experience doesn't mean I don't care about it.
Exactly.
Like, so it's awful.
Yeah.
You do not want to experience that. So you just feel bad for them because it's very upsetting, because you want them to see them still alive.
Yeah. But it's also for the person that's affected as well, like, because they're obviously in they're in that mindset. They're alone. They don't know what to do, and then they see their favorite streamer come on. They want something, I guess, even though it sounds bad in a way, but they want to be acknowledged, like, hey, you're my favorite streamer, I'm in a bit of a rut. If you at least say that you're there, you support them, and you'll be there, like, for mental and all that, I think that is a good key, because that way then they don't feel like they're burdening you. Stream doesn't get a negative vibe out of it. You do care about it, but it's something that you don't really want to like push for the continuance of your stream. Because again, as a content creator, we want to make sure the vibe in our stream is positive, happy, and all that. But having something like that come in that can and has ruined streamers in the past, or any content creator in the past. I know I've seen it happen to a couple of streamers and they didn't recover. So,
oh man, yeah.
It definitely does hit differently, that's for sure. But at the same time, I think it just comes down to how you perceive it. Take it in a good way, get a good outcome out of it. If you take it like someone else, you might wind up on the 7 o'clock. But
I just hope I end up on the 7 o'clock news for a good thing, not a bad thing.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's what you want. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll move away from that little dreary, dark comment, and let's move on to another thing that happens with creators. Let's talk about trolls.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun.
Oh, I hate dad jokes.
So as content creators, we are plagued, and this is a literal, I'm saying that as a word, it is a thing, a plague. Trolls do exist. Good and bad, they do exist no matter where we are, whether it's on our streams, whether it's on TikTok.
In your video games.
Yeah. I have had some... Yeah, I've had some very interesting trolls. I've even currently have one on TikTok who literally trolls me any chance she gets. It's fantastic. And I'm like, cool, you take simple and funny videos and turn them as a negative thing. Okay, cool. Well, whatever floats your boat. But again, that is something we have to deal with.
Yeah.
Probably
I've had my fair share of that on my streams and also like in my comment section.
Mm-hmm.
Although, because of my experience of being on the internet for as long as I've known, I know how most trolls work pretty much, and there are things that you could probably say or do that will more than likely shut them down. Of course, the easiest option that I've seen that people do is they just block them. Yep. They just completely, which thank God for the block button or just like the mute feature, because you don't want to hear from them ever again. But then you get those really persistent. You get those really persistent trolls like I've had in my past. I still remember the 1 year when I was still fresh, or like still doing a whole lot of VR chat streams, and there's this one guy who kept on making so many accounts. Like, it's not even funny, and it's not even, you know, they didn't even change up their name whatsoever. They just kept on changing the last number of the end of their name. So that's how we knew it was them the entire time. I'm just like, oh my God, you have got to be, I am not trying to, not trying to insult anybody but just the fact that is just the most idiotic thing that I've ever seen somebody do. You know, as someone who knows patterns and everything, you know, just doing that stuff, you're not gonna get away with it at all. You're literally not gonna get away with it. Like, you think I'm dumb? I'm not dumb.
What I find funny
yet
is
yet they still have the persistence to keep on getting their name changed, even how many times we've banned them, and they just kept on going. It's just like, that's the thing. There are some trolls that can be very persistent, and there's some others that are just like, they'll do like a one-off thing, and then like once they're gone, get found out, they're just gone. But this guy was so persistent. This went on for probably months, actually, like almost half a year. Yeah, almost half a year.
My attitude to
I guess
that is like,
they finally got let up, or like it finally let up because, you know, they pretty much got tired out. So persistence wins in the end.
But my thought process for something like that is, they're so determined on doing this, why can't they go get a real job? Like, if you're so persistent about doing something, do something about it. You could go and work in IT, that. Use those very persistent skills you have to something better. That's one of the biggest things I find funny all the time. Like some trolls are, I'm sure Crystal gets a fair share of them with her art and stuff as well. But I know like the last few ones I've had in mind, I think my community's learned how to handle now because of me, and it is something that I do fairly regularly. When I do get a troll, I usually just greet them in. And one of the biggest things I have, and I think that's another reason why people can't get back. I treat a troll as a viewer. And I don't know why, but sometimes it really does throw them for a loop. It's like, oh, how you doing? They'll come in, they'll do their usual thing. It's like, oh, thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for the view. Really helps out with the channel. And then I've had one troll, and he really was trying to test my patience. But everyone, like all my mods are saying, Darken, quick, we've got to assist in this. And I kept telling, and this was during when I was on VRC. I kept putting like my hands up saying, just chill. So I ended up saying to him, like, hey, bud, I appreciate you doing all this effort. And you know what? As you keep doing this, you're actually really helping me. You're actually giving me views. And you know what? Please keep doing this. I want the views. You're going to actually help me. I might even make a paycheck out of this. So thank you. I appreciate your patronage, Jason. I've had so many trolls stop in my chat and go, wait a minute. Because if you think about it, they're just adding a number to your view count. And that's one of the biggest things they don't realize it. When I had a hate rate, and I did get a hate rate, I had a really bad hate rate, and I am laughing my ass off this whole time. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, oh, have I finally ascended and become a popufer? My first official hate rate. Oh. I am not joking. Everyone that was in the VRC with me were on their knees laughing so hard they couldn't stop. And I'm sitting there giggling, going, dude, thank you. Oh, look at all these fantastic followers. Oh, you guys are so, oh, geez, I'm going to get partner in a week. I love it. And then he said something in my chat, and I knew who it was. So he came and says, excuse me, what did you say? I'm like, dude, you're literally just giving me access to partnership. You're a legend, dude. Thank you. And he's like, I'm not giving you this. Like, he argued with me in my own chat. And I was like, dude, did you really not think about what you're doing? And he was like, oh no, I know what I'm doing. I'm screwing up your figures. And I'm like, actually, dude, no offense, but
No.
dude, you're literally just giving me access to hit the partner button. So please keep giving me the hate, keep giving me the views, keep giving me the follows. Trust me, this is all stuff that's going to help me get a living. And honestly, I would love to get out of working at KFC. I just threw that out there, and I'm not joking. He stopped it immediately as soon as I said that. He stopped that, and his next words in my chat was, "Fuck you, dude. That's scary." I'm like, "Why? You've literally just paid for me to become partner. I appreciate you. Also, thanks for the view." He, as soon as I said that, he literally left, and I was just like, okay. And then all I did is I went to a commander route, went into last whatever it was, instantly, boom, deleted all those things. But it was such a weird experience. I was like, that was so bizarre. And then I had another troll that did a similar one, but it was when I was in VR chat. And he was like, oh, you're a furry, F this, you F animals. And I was like, oh, you're one of these. I was like, I could play this one of two ways. And then all of a sudden someone, Wildfire, said the lovely comment in the back of my chat. He said in my chat, hey, Darken, I think we need it. And I was like, I get to use it. So I literally walked up to... So basically I have 2 sayings in my chat for certain commands for me to do certain things. One is called it for a reason, and that's when it comes to trolls. And the other one is we. So if someone does these things in quotation marks, I know what that means. So this troll in VRC literally would not stop it saying about all the things furries supposedly do. So I walked up to him and I went, so, hey mate, quick question. What do you have against furries? And then he would blatantly say all this. I'm like, right. So let me get this straight. You're having a go at me because you believe that I hump animals, and I like to do this or say.
my-
So no, but I went flat
Yeah,
out, I
okay.
went out with that, and he went, yeah, you're a sicko. I'm like, so hang on a quote. So fill me in on a second. When you see a stormtrooper and a Wookiee humping in the back of Apex, you're cool with this? And he's like, excuse me? Like, yeah, don't you know, like, all these Trekkie Star Wars people? Hell, even Hell of a Boss. You don't think half a dozen people dress up as these characters and boink in the back rooms? And he's like, hey, but I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Did you not realize this? You do realize in subcultures they do this. Dude, you can literally go see a freaking anime thing of two girls in stormtroopers humping each other. And I'm not joking. I'm not choking.
Yeah.
He went dead silent. My chat is my chat literally was just putting PogChamp the whole chat. And then I said, look, I said to him, look, mate, I don't want to tell you how to like and dislike things. And you're dressing up as Alistair from Hell of a Boss. You do realize there is a website called E621. I would love for you to go and type in Alistair from Hell of a Boss in there and tell me what you find. He straight away left. He straight away left the world. And I'm sitting there giggling, going, that worked. But this is the but this is the weird thing. Literally 2 hours later, he sent me an invite to join the world.
Goodness.
Right? And I was like, why would I invite you back in? But I thought, you know what? He probably wants a round two. And I'm like, I'm in a good mood. I want to play more. Let's do this. So I told him.
Toy around with them a little bit more.
I told everyone to leave. So it was just me. He comes into the world, and I am not freaking joking you. He literally walked up to me and said, "I'm sorry." I was like, "Excuse me?" He's like, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean anything by it. I've heard all these things." And he literally just spilled out. And I was like, dude, you could have just asked the question instead of being an asshole about it. He's a freaking follower now. I turned a troll into a follower. And what's funny...
Lucky.
But what's funny about it is he's actually become a radio host.
Oh.
Because of me. Yeah, he was a troll first. He wanted to get into voice acting, voiceovers and stuff like this. And then eventually once we found out who he really was, he started turning, he got to know me a bit more. I got to know him. He was a really cool dude. Like, I actually said, why were you an asshole at first? And he goes, yeah. Since then, he's been such a nice guy. He's been doing radio stuff. He's actually a voiceover for his local radio station near where he is. I'm like, dude, that's freaking awesome. Again,
that's awesome.
Just how you handle it can change so many things. I think now on average, I've probably had half a dozen, maybe a dozen trolls, and I've probably converted 3 people into actual viewers that are regulars, which is scary. But that's the thing. Like, that's great. I took something that I knew would frazzle someone, and I just put it onto them. Because the thing is, though, sometimes the trolls do it because that's the thing, they want attention. But if you know how to handle yourself when it comes to it, the results at the end, so good. I remember one where it was annoying me, 13, and who was the other streamer at the time? There was 3 of us streaming at the time. We were all in the same world, and this troll went to all 3 of our streams and was constantly doing stuff. And I literally said in front of 13's stream, in front of mine, I said, if this troll comes to my stream and so much throws a hate raid, I'm wiggling my freaking tiger furry butt on camera. And I'm not freaking joking you. After he took the thing...
Did it actually happen?
He jumped to the other person one, and then I said, see, he's such a wuss. He doesn't want to come and troll me. He knows what he's going to pay for. As soon as I said that, he jumped into my stream, and then he just threw like 700 followers. Like, he tried to spam it. I literally
oh my gosh.
I turned off my notification, and then I was like, oh my God, I'm bringing out the Aussie boy. And I started talking like a typical Aussie. And I was like, well, a promise is a promise. Got up, moved my camera, and started wiggling butt in front of it. Well, there you go, chat. Enjoy your free butt wiggle view. I did that for 20 freaking minutes. All of a sudden, he said in my comment, "You guys are freaks." I'm like, dude, you're literally trolling 3 freaking streamers who are literally all in the same freaking room, who know who the hell you are, and you're the one calling us a freak? No offense, dude, but don't quit your day job. Also, enjoy the butt. I literally then sat on the camera, and next thing you know, all 3 of our streams never had a problem after that. For that entire night. I'm like,
wow.
I just don't understand trolls. Like, why do you need to do something like this? You could easily go and put these supposable troll skills to like a better use. Hell, you could actually earn a living from some of this shit. There is literally a dude calling people in Pakistan, India, and all this, scam callers, and getting them arrested while getting paid. My God. Do something like that. But
I think just some people don't know what to do with their life sometimes, so they just kind of find a thing that they find a little bit entertaining / causing a little bit of chaos to other people. So
yeah, well,
when they get
at least
bored,
that's how I see it.
Yeah.
When you're bored.
For example, for example, you're a regular human being that doesn't know anything about furries or anime characters. And in Twitch, like, you go to a VTuber and then they're like, why are you a woman when you sound like a man? And they're gonna roast the fuck out of you. And I'm like, that's what you get.
Those sort of trolls, I feel like they're, to me, so in that instance, and I'm not going to pull out a name because I know it's happened on that stream a few times, but I have seen people who generally, they came out a troll, but I think it just becomes down to just ignorance and they're just dumb. They don't read, no one reads anymore. Sorry, but freaking read people's information before you assume gender. Like, I have seen too many times where someone's misgendered someone, and it's like, again, I'll let it slide 1 to 2 times. That's me. Like, I'll let something slide twice because they don't get it. But if they say it 3 or 4 times, I'm going to say something. I'm sorry, but that's where I arc up. I won't say this person's name because it happened on one of my streams. So a friend came into my stream. Again, they are trans. I'm not going to say anything more than that. And I know them as a he. Yes, they were previously a she, but they are now male. I then had a person join my VRC and constantly would keep calling them a she. And I was like, bud, stop. They are a he. Get it right. Now, I know he didn't mean it, but he comes from the South. For them, it is a big difference. Like, it's something new for him. And he constantly kept saying she. And I'm like, dude, I'm giving you a final warning. Stop saying she. Their pronouns are he, him.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that he's dumb, but he needs to accept that you might be hearing something when you see something different. Don't assume. And that's one of the biggest things I tell people. Don't read a book by its cover. That's one of the biggest sayings. I think you've heard me say that a few times, Hiro. Never judge a book by its cover. I get to know people first. Now, again, if you are trans and I stuff up, please understand, I'm not doing this to troll you. I'm not doing this to have a go at you. I'm trying to learn who you are. Now, the individual that happened this, I've known them for a while. I knew them before the transition and I know them after their transition. And yes, sometimes I blurt out the wrong thing. I'll admit that. I have done that a few times. But they understand that, oh, okay, it just happens, it's blurted out. There has to be a time where you got to realize if they are trying to get people to understand, please respect that wish. I don't care what country you come from. I don't care what religion you believe in. I don't care of any of that sort of shit. If you can't get the right pronouns after 3 times being told off, 1, don't come near me. 2, don't go near that person. And 3, learn to freaking zip your lip. Because that's something you shouldn't do. And it definitely does hurt people. I know it hurt this person pretty badly, and I felt bad for them. But at the same time, you need to understand that. That's one of the biggest things a lot of people don't perceive. And I think trolls use that as well. They'll see someone who is different or hear someone that's different and then straight away go, oh, you're nah. and then they'll just roll with it. And it's just like, do you not have anything better? Leave them alone. They're trying to make themselves who they are. They don't need some dickhead who thinks that they're a bloody, oh, I'm a wizard at this. Dude, back up, piss off. Like, again, I am he, him. It's for listeners' thing. I am he, him, and my pronouns. So that's just who I am. I have plenty of friends. Hell, half my community is trans. There are either gone from she to he, and I've had some that are he to she. I respect every single one of them. Why? Because they've supported me and they know who I am. To me, that counts as a family thing, and I will respect their wishes. If they want to be known as one or the other, I will respect that wish. Again, I sometimes forget, and if it's a certain thing where I stay up for 24 hours, we're not going to talk about virality, things can happen. We're not going to talk about it. But yeah. Yeah, 80 hours, and I kept calling people the wrong thing. I was tired, leave me alone. Anyway, it happened.
Okay.
But that's the thing, like, sometimes people just, if you see something and you read a bio and their bio says they're this, please, for the love of God, respect that. I know someone who has constantly had to put his pronouns in his freaking, what is it, the status?
And
they're saying this for a reason. If you see that for anyone, and I'm saying this for all our listeners and for anyone that is listening to this, because also I've noticed that we do get a fair few around the world listeners, please respect that. Like, if they're putting that in their status that they are a certain pronoun, they're doing that for a reason. They're not to say that they're doing this just to show off, oh, I am this. No, they're doing it because they have a reason, because people are either misgendering them or they don't understand. If you do not, and one of the biggest things I think people need to know, if you do not know or do not understand something, you don't have to be afraid to ask them. Like, go up and say, hey, look, I feel like I'm calling you something when I shouldn't. Could you please let me know what are your pronouns so I do not misgender you? Trust me, if you make that teeny little effort, I will guarantee you're going to make a very, 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 very good friend out of it. Because you will be surprised. Because if you go up and just judge them by what they look like, you will find out a lot of bad things. But if you actually take the time and get to know someone, you will learn some really interesting. Again, I'm very fortunate in the way what I've been doing. I've met some people. And honestly, I would never change that. Because some of them are really awesome people. I met a animator who was a he turned she. And even now, like, I still respect them because she does. She's just amazing. She's an amazing person, super, super sweet, super, super caring, and just loves what she does. And I know plenty of other people that have gone the opposite way and, again, have become big name people. I still respect them. I know who they were before it, but I don't go past that. Like, simple things like that can make a world of difference. Just, like I said, the biggest thing I do is never judge a book by its cover. Go through, read the index, go through their chapters, get to know the person. You'll make some pretty interesting friends if you do. Again, I'm currently with two people right now who I've been very fortunate to read their stories, and I'm glad to be a part of said stories. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, Hiro and Crystal.
Hint, hint. Yeah.
But yeah. And that's the thing, like, it just trolls, I feel like they'll target something like that and they just roll with it. That's the biggest problem.
Oh yeah, definitely. Or like they don't even know like when to stop, or just even,
oh yeah,
or that they've already lost a battle.
Oh god, yeah, those ones. Oh yeah, they've lost the battle. Yeah, they keep coming back for more. Why do you want this pain? Because we can make it burn longer. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm assuming with you, Crystal, you've had, I wouldn't say you've had similar trolls to, like, say, a stream, but you would have had certain trolls doing comments. Would that be a fair accurate?
Just a bunch of dad jokes every time. I hate it. I hate that. It's just Tier coming into my stream not saying hello, it's just coming into my chat saying some dad jokes, and I prefer saying hello first before saying a dad joke. It's not funny. It's so dumb. It's like I keep saying like I'm tired, and they're like, "Hello, tired. I'm dad," and I'm like, "Fuck off."
Oh my god.
You mean when I do that to you sometimes?
Already.
See, if I know someone well enough, I don't really do that. Like if it's like if it's a good thing, like for example, like I would walk up, and I think our friend Melon would probably agree to this statement that I'm about to say. I know certain things, I do certain things that can fluster certain people. Let's just say that. And yes, it a few times has branded me daddy. I'll admit that. Yes, I've been branded daddy once before, or a few times. Again, I'm sorry. The way I do things is because I want to get some sort of a kick out of it, a little giggle. That's why sometimes I'll bring out, "Hello there, welcome to the stream." And some people, not going to say who, Melon, they get they get flustered by me doing that. And for me, that's just, I get a laugh out of it, I get a giggle out of it, and it's fun because it's something between, two friends. I can make fun of it. But if I came in to say your stream, Crystal, and I did that, if I said a dad joke and you straight away said to me, "Oh, I'm tired, I'm not interested," I would kill that straight away. That would be me.
Man.
Yeah.
Because I would be like, okay, you're tired, you don't want to do this, you don't want to think that's fair, I'm not going to push. Like, but if they push it, that sends a red flag up really quickly.
I do hate to cut things short though, Darken. I kind of have to start going soon for work.
No worries, we're getting pretty close to end anyway. I'm just pushing for 2 hours, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew you had I know you had a limited amount of time. That's why I thought 2 hours should be, just about right.
I'm sleepy.
You are sleepy?
I'm sleepy.
Okay.
So sleepy. I am so tired. It's almost 9 a.m.
Oh shit! Okay, see, I didn't realize it was late for you, Crystal. I do apologize.
I was texting you like it's 8 a.m.
Oh shit! Okay, I'm so sorry. I did not realize. Okay, you just could have said something. Good grief! You can say it in this. All right. Well,
I wish I don't want to ruin the bit.
No. That's fine. Well,
no, it's good.
I think we pretty much covered a fair bit of things. So I think to end, all right. Well, I say then if that's the case, we'll call it an end here. But for that, I'll guess to finish it up. Do you guys have any advice? Do you have any advice for new up and content creators or TikTokers or artists?
I do. I have something.
Yeah. So we'll go with you first, then.
Like, ladies first.
Okay. Just believe in yourself. Don't ever give up. If you do mistakes, that's okay, because that's totally normal. No one is perfect, but you have to do perfect for your effort, for your content. You do great. No matter what you do, they have to love you of who you are and what you do. So be confident in yourself. Applause. Done. Just be proud of yourself when you do. It's all your stuff you do is process, okay? Do not give up. That's my saying. Good night.
Yeah. That to me, I feel like that's a good one. All right. Hiro, what would you give an advice for someone who's either trying to get into, I guess, TikTok or stream?
As far as content goes, I would say it's always great to put everything positive, or just not even just positive, just put everything that is about you in your streams, in your content. Make it relatable to other people of like what you do. And I'm sure for a fact that there will be people that will follow because they can relate, or they see that kind of person in themselves. So make it so it's enjoyable, but you also enjoy it. I guess that's pretty much it.
No, that's fine. That's a fair thing. I think those are very good points. And again, just don't feel ashamed. Like if you feel like you failed, don't think you failed. Take it as as a learning curve. Take it as something that, okay, something didn't go right. How do I improve? Like I said, one of the biggest things is look at your own work. Assess it. Find out what you think could be better. And then the next stream, you try and make it better. That's the best thing I can give.
And one little added thing before to just put yourself out there. Pretty much, just don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
Yeah,
because otherwise,
networking is also good.
And that too.
Yeah, no, thank you guys so much for joining me. So again, that's a little topic about up and coming streamers. So Hiro, Crystal, thank you guys so much for joining me. Do you guys want to quickly plug your stuff so people can find you? Again, we'll go ladies first. Where can they find you, Crystal?
You can find me in Twitter, X, pretty much, and then you can find me in Blue Sky. You can find me in Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. And that's pretty much it.
And then we'll go Hiro. Where can they all find you?
You can mainly find me on Twitch and on the Twitter/X app. And you also see me on TikTok as well.
Oh yeah, TikTok, that's right for me.
All good, all good.
I forgot
Yeah, pretty much the same things, yeah.
I forgot that one.
That's all good. We'll add it in post. That's fine. We'll add it in post.
And more follows on Blue Sky as well. Get the Blue Sky. Get the Blue Sky.
Yes, Blue Sky. Yeah.
The Blue Sky.
The new thing.
Twitter sucks. I'm kidding.
And you guys don't be able to know where to find me. I'm on my normal socials: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. So definitely check me out there. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for bringing this. I think this is a good sort of point. Anyway, we'll leave it there. And it's been good. Like we're able to get out a few things. Hopefully, again, if any listeners are wanting to get into content creation, or an artist or a TikToker and all that, hopefully we've given you some sort of like little tidbits that will help here and there. If you do have any questions, by all means, you can reach out to any of us. We're all very open. We can more than happy to answer questions and stuff like that. Please feel free to get in contact with us. We would be more than happy to answer. For now, this is where we're going to be calling it. So thank you again for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast today. Next up, we will be looking at our next highlighted content creator. Now, hopefully you guys have been enjoying this. This is something that we do just to support the community, show off maybe a content creator or a TikToker, or maybe an artist who could use a little bit of love. So definitely please go check them out. Hopefully enjoy the little snippet of them next. But yeah, that'll be where we call it. So
definitely go check out Crystal. I swear, go do it.
Check out Hiro.
Do it. No,
he's fine.
No, we're good. We're good.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for tonight. My name is Darken, the Tiger from Down Under. That is HiroCorgi. That is Crystal Silverlight. And as always, guys, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and remember, you are loved. And we are always there for you. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey there, folks. My name's Echo Flame. I'm a small content creator on a couple of platforms. A little bit about myself. I like to cause trouble, be chaotic, and just be loud. Don't you run from me! Ah! Oh shit! Another one!
I got shield.
My sprinkler goes like this.
How dare? You ever need to stop? Oh shit! Ah! Nailed it! Oh shit! Thor! Fuck you, Thor! Ah! I got him!
Echo is a Discord kitten.
Oh god, don't let me throw up, please.
Finally, now I can keep these feelings for myself. What the hell?
I smell pennies!
That's not Echo.
No, that is. He's messing with you.
You did! You did! Get his ass!
Don't you be recording any of this. Don't you dare.
Good shot. Oh, he just killed himself! Please!
I was like, but you're a whole
But ass! Ass prevented it!
Not the ass. It was not about the ass. It was not about the ass. That was not the original.
I have no idea why the hell I came into this room.
I see you. Hello. Come out from the corner. Ha ha ha.